Scott's been plenty active here. Queen Jack qualifying here, +1. Playing 100 bigs. Always potential for a big one here when Scott opens in this particular seat to Chris Moorman's big blind.
This feels like a little bit of stalling.
And I'm here for it.
Yep. It's part of the game.
I think we only have maybe just a couple of minutes. It might even be that he managed to make this the last hand.
Sure. And it's a $40,000 pay jump, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Moorman defending 8-6 offsuit. It's Jack 10-6, a pair for each. Scott way ahead.
Yeah, and the players have taken leave, so this will be our last hand, I think.
Much?
8-6 with the heart, bottom pair. Backdoor straight outs. A little too much hand to fold to just one bet.
For sure.
Cool.
He's occasionally feasible when you're in a tougher ICM conundrum than either of these guys are, that if you have the 6 with no backdoor, you can maybe consider letting it go at this point, but certainly not when you have something to go with.
Brick on the turn.
Hand like 6-3 might have found its way into the muck just as a hand that wouldn't realise often enough.
Interesting check back.
Yeah, basically deciding to go for some pot control and maybe induce some bluffs too. Chris probably with enough showdown to not bother betting here.
6.
And Scott also doesn't go for a little value. That's surprising. I expected either a turn bet or a small river bet.
Yeah, maybe a little worried about the king, that the king nines might be in there. King queen was possible.
Online poker is back in America. No purchase necessary. Play online poker for cash prizes with players across the U.S. Sit next to your favorite ambassadors like Phil Ivey, Brad Owen, Rampage, Wolfgang, and the rest of the WPT crew. Play tournaments and ring games to win real prizes and experiences, including free entries into next-level poker events in Las Vegas. Sign up at clubwptgold.com with promo code YouTube.
I feel like ACR has the weird levels. It'd be like 175, 350. Yeah, what the fuck?
Moorman now. Interesting to see how he would proceed on the button with a hand like 9-7. I feel like earlier on that might have sneaked its way into the opening range.
He's getting 3-bet by Ryan a lot. It's
Yeah.
just an adjustment.
Oh.
Very nice chip up from Ryan. He joined the table with about 20 million.
Yeah, Scott very happy to play small ball here with one of those sort of deceptive aces. It's important not to leave yourself without any ace-x combos when you check back. So the ace-6, ace-7 usually function quite nicely in that regard. High ICM environments obviously could even argue for a few more.
King, queen, 7, 2 clubs. Scott with bottom pair. Backdoor nut flush draw.
Yeah,
Ryan with the gut shot.
Yeah, and actually some showdown too. Jack high certainly can be good against the airball stab, so don't see him going anywhere yet. In fact, wouldn't be out of line to see a raise here.
11.
There we go.
1.1.
Yeah, I like that. Check raising your gut shot.
I'm sorry.
Not a ton of value right now in your hand, so you don't mind. If Scott ends up putting more chips in and you fold, it's not a big deal. But definitely put Scott in an uncomfortable spot now with his bottom pair and back doors. Too much hand for him to fold just yet. Oh, baby. 4 clubs. This is a fun one. Scott now with the nut flush draw. And Ryan can't love this card too much when Scott continues. He's looking at chips.
He's going to keep the story going here. 3 million into 3.4. Scott with the nut draw and some showdown, but will be feeling like, ooh, this one got a bit serious, a bit quick.
I would definitely be feeling like I need to catch a card.
Sure.
So if he bricks and Ryan can somehow find another barrel, I'd expect it to work. 8 of hearts, a brick it is.
It's a very tough spot for Ryan to go again.
It's
Very dark
yeah, he
tunnely. Your
gives
opponent
up.
can have flushes already. And now Scott wondering if he needs to use the ace of clubs, perhaps only momentarily. Enough showdown.
Yeah, Scott, you've got to be very pleased to take down this pot. When it gets checked to you, you go, ugh,
Probably
I don't know.
would've I mean, no club it.
Yeah.
Next pay jump is 55k. Both 10th and 9th will get the same payout, and then there is a jump for 8th. ICM basically at its absolute peak right now. But as you said, Jamie, it's sort of hard to imagine these guys getting into, you know, pots unless it becomes like 3-bet, 4-bet kind of stuff, or some sort of overbet gets in on flop. They're not really threatening each other's stacks in the same way. It's only Antsy who's actually in that spot, and
Sure.
that's why he's probably taking his time.
Yeah, it would take a really big hand matchup post-flop for these guys to get it in when they start 80 big blinds deep with like tremendous ICM pressure on them. But it could happen. Set over set happens, and set versus massive combo draws happen.
Yeah, I think in a big way, your mentality when you're one of these 80 big blind plus stacks goes towards, there's guys really short on that other table. I wouldn't mind them just busting and us
Sure.
becoming the final table. Put us all together.
Yeah, you don't want to get in massive confrontations where bystanders to the hand make money, because it means you lost money,
Yeah.
you two together.
Yeah.
Queen 9, 3, 2 diamonds. Scott with the nut flush draw.
Yeah, and Chris playing small ball here, Prey. It's a tricky one here. He has whiffed this one quite hard, but he does have a good ace. He's going to stick around for a turn. Scott with the great hand that can barrel almost always on turns here. Not too many 3x in Chris's range, although there will be a sprinkling.
Is this a spot where you may just check back as Scott because you've showdown value, you've potential in your hand, you don't want to get blown off it?
Yeah, I like that. The king 10s, jack 10s, 10-8s are all in there. Might be a little bit tricky to shift a 9 over one street. You might have to empty the clip for that. So, yeah, just
Nice
take that
run
showdown.
out for Chris Mormon, as he's likely to check and Scott is likely to check behind. Ace 10 is
Ace
just
10.
the best hand.
Just the right amount of stickiness from Chris.
Yep.
Oh, he does win them all.
How Denver's like Miami somehow made it to the finals that year, and it was just like such a cakewalk for Denver.
Wait, who did it? LA play?
LA played the Heat. They played the Heat also. But the Heat, I feel like
Oh,
they
no,
were
so
hurt.
they're-
Like Jimmy Butler wasn't 100%.
With Denver, it was Boston.
No, Boston. Remember Boston was down 3-0,
Fancy now
won
with
3
an
games.
awkward
Miami
little
won
hand
7
here.
games.
Playing
No, I'm talking about their year
35
that,
bigs.
Denver-
Remember, he is the player they can really
Yeah, they
apply
played the
pressure
Heat.
to
They didn't
here.
play Boston in the finals.
All of these guys can just leverage his entire stack with a 3-bet. I feel like Ryan had to suppress some evil thoughts there,
Yep.
even with the jack 4.
Scott with a decent enough hand to defend. 9-7 offsuit. Happens to be flipping with Anzi's 6s. Eight, 7, deuce, 2 spades. Scott pulls way ahead. This pair of 7s. Anzi with the... It's more of a big blind board, but he's got a hand that probably wants to bet for protection, do you think?
Yeah, I think we go bet here a lot of the time. No, check. Okay, so he is right there in ICM sort of
Jail?
handcuffery.
Yeah. Jack of hearts falls on the turn, putting 2 flush draws out there. Scott now a third pair and a gut shot. Anzi with the fourth pair, hoping to just get to showdown, I assume.
Yeah, this sort of speaks to a concept in my friend Darrow Kearney's ICM book, which is called downward drift. It is where certain actions almost get reduced. So big bets become medium-sized bets, medium bets become small bets, small bet situations sometimes become checks. In high ICM environments, you almost are forced to treat your entire range like a bluff catcher in some situations.
Makes
Now, obviously,
sense.
we're not quite there yet. Anti's played this in such a way that he's made sure there's no way he can get stacks in here. Ooh, 2 million though.
Yeah, that's a punishing bet to Anzi's stack if he wants to look this up. And credit to Scott for recognizing that he just has the best hand. I think this could be a touch greedy, though.
Yeah, I think Anti cute enough to maybe have checked back some stronger stuff as well, perhaps. And it is a touch greedy, but against this particular hand, it's a great bet because it's really put Anti in the blender. Was certainly prepared to call a half potter, maybe even a 2/3. This is just a little uncomfortable. He's thinking to himself, I've sort of played this like I've ace king. Now I've really made myself susceptible to being blasted off at. Going to get a physical read maybe.
Wow,
and
and
does make
Scott,
the call.
just really nice bet. I did not think that larger bet was going to get paid off here.
The beauty of the larger bet there from Scott, and I think he recognised it too, was that he figured his hand was good and he figured
Looks bluffier.
maybe more likely to get
Yeah.
paid with the big one.
Yeah, he's in a unlucky spot right now for sure. With just surrounded by big stacks
I have like
that can take chances against him, and he's just max
could pay
punished for doing the same.
20+ K page, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Fair. But
Oh, yeah, not
any other day, no.
Mormon with ace-9 suited in the cutoff.
800.
Opens it up.
Oh, interesting one for Scott here. Certainly
Yeah.
a hand that can go both ways. And again, yeah, everybody
Played
content
safe.
to play small ball.
Shanti with a pretty dusty hand in the big blind. Queen 4 offsuit. Probably not even worth the extra blind. Lets it go very slowly.
Is this Jonty's third different outfit
Oh, this one is last time. I
of the
thought it-
feature table?
Is it? I haven't been
69,
noticing
bigger
his
than to go.
costume
I
changes.
feel like he's got like a box of props offset.
4-3 deuce, 2 spades. Chris with the gut shot to the wheel. Scott with backdoor spades.
Yeah, like king of spades in hand for Scott now may force a call. Certainly could be ahead. King queen has some showdown. I like it.
Not handle the 1-mils for some reason.
Yeah, Scott does have like the bull in a china shop kind of. He just knocks a stack over a bunch. 3 pairs the turn. Both players with a little bit of showdown. Checks through.
Yeah, and I think both probably feel like they have enough showdown here. Just about. Scott maybe giving some thought to turning his hand into a bluff on that spade. Yes, he is. He's going to use the spade.
Not too large. That might even look more milky.
Tough spot for Chris here, who's going to have to give some thought to maybe some hands like 6-7, maybe a hand like
Lets it go. Wow,
8-5
Scott
suited.
gets it done for cheap.
Nicely done, sir.
Scotty trains full steam ahead.
Online poker is back in America. No purchase necessary. Play online poker for cash prizes with players across the U.S. Sit next to your favorite ambassadors like Phil Ivey, Brad Owen, Rampage, Wolfgang, and the rest of the WPT crew. Play tournaments and ring games to win real prizes and experiences, including free entries into next-level poker events in Las Vegas. Sign up at clubwptgold.com with promo code YouTube.
Someone listening with headphones is like, please stop. Ryan waking up with pocket kings and the hijack.
Yeah, I love these Django's. Oh, and back-to-back big hands for Scott here. This one could get a little messy. Probably just comes
He
with
says
call.
no, he's just chilling. He's playing small pot after small pot.
Yeah.
This toilet breaks terribly.
And he's still incentivized to take time off the clock here. Chris gonna flick in a call with the suited Queen 8. This one's developing. Let's see 3. Decent amount of interaction potential between these hands.
Ace, queen, jack, 2 spades. That kills everything.
Does a little bit. Wouldn't mind seeing.
Checks all around.
Yeah. Double
Deuce on the turn.
Yeah.
Boring dealer.
Yeah, this could have been fireworks, but instead we're probably just all going to try and get to showdown.
Barely a sparkler.
Does Ryan maybe fire something small, take control? No, he's just going to probably try to get to showdown with this one as well. Tough for Scott here.
into flip, Ascara.
Does feel like he's being pot controlled by Ryan at the very least.
Just tough 3 ways, yeah. Checks it back. 8 of spades completes the board.
Yeah.
And now
Chris
it's Chris Moorman who backs into 2 pair. Cracking 2 beautiful hands. Does he value bet this? Can he throw out a little one, a little block bet, maybe like 750 or so?
I don't even think that's small. I think you can go for some value
Yeah.
here. Yeah, because like nobody's shown much interest. It's very unlikely there's a spade draw out there, so you're not so worried about that. You're really just targeting a hand like Ace 5 now
Sure.
that's decided to get the showdown.
Yeah,
A hand
that's
like Kings.
1.6.
Yeah. Very unlikely to see too many bluffs out of Chris in this situation on this board texture. So Ryan probably super conscious of that.
2 pair.
Really nice bet, Chris.
Yeah, awkward for Ryan there because he does of course beat a sliver of value there given how passively played it was. Blood.
Edward Pack,
know
though,
very
what a
true.
place to be, right? If he's at the other table, he's just one of the crowd.
Yeah.
And here he's just king of the world. Just being able to take a bite out of everyone else's stack as they're trying to make it to the final table.
Yeah, it's a dreamy situation for him to find himself on this table. Able to just, with merely the open, oftentimes, enough
Sure.
to leverage these guys out of their equity.
Jack 9-9 rainbow.
Rob Sherwood with some backdoors, nice high. Looks like he is going to check it back here. Christian, door will be open. Oh,
Makes a pair.
Rob trying to get this ace high to showdown. And the fact that he will be in that mode is bad news because his opponent Christian did pick up that 5 on the turn. Will also be keen to show this one. Oh, might even throw a little
Go.
blocker. Pesky for Rob here. Probably not going to find the call. Would have to be a pure air ball from Christian in a spot where the perception might be that he was being pot controlled. But we don't know the dynamics on this table, so maybe,
Sure.
just maybe. There has been some larceny. There's been some hijinks and skullduggery.
Shenanigans and ballyhoo.
Malarkey. Can we say that for another month?
Gosh, the hat got flipped. I see.
Ah, see?
So it would have been conventional for the pre-flop raiser to
That's
just
a great
throw out
hat.
tiny
Kinda
bet
crazy.
on a paired
Now you gotta
board,
wear
huh?
it all the time.